Happy Thursday, everybody. This is Mr. Katz. So please remember that when you're watching this video, do not skip. Gotta watch the whole thing because this is going to be a 20-point assignment. 5 points are going to be given to you as long as you complete it by the end of class. 5 points. There's going to be a lot of checks throughout the video where you're going to have to do things, and you'll get full 5 points if you do everything that's expected of you. And last, at the very end, you're going to do an assignment, and it's an end quiz, and it's going to be based exactly what you learned in this video. So as you're watching it, make sure if you don't understand something, you go back, because it's going to be only one shot at those 10 points, which is going to get you a total of 20 points. So let's get started. First, what I want you to do is as soon as you reach this part of the lesson, I want you, in a second, I'm going to ask you to pause it. But first, let me tell you, you're going to walk right up to me, and I'm going to hand you a piece of paper, and we're going to check off at the time that you got that piece of paper. And bring that piece of paper right back to your seat. All right, go ahead and pause the video. All right, now that you paused the video and you got your sheet, let's go on to the next slide. Go ahead right now, and for a warm-up, I want you, under the warm-up section, to do these 5 problems, and then bring them up to me as soon as you're done. And go ahead and you may pause the video in order to do those problems. All right, now that I've checked off that you did the problems, go ahead and I want you to, you're going to watch a video, but first I just want to talk quickly about what this video is about. So in math, and actually in life, whether you're a scientist, a mathematician, there's many jobs where you are working with very small numbers. And when you get a small number like this is 0.000, a lot of zeros, 28. And this is a really small number. It's a lot less than 1. You know, it's 0 holes, and you don't actually even see a number until you get all the way down into these 2 places. So it's a very small number. And when you see this number, very often we don't write this number as it is. It'd be too many zeros to write on a piece of paper. It would be too many zeros to deal with. So we change the number into scientific notation. So I'm going to show you how to get to a video, but as soon as you watch the instructions on how to get to the video, I want you to pause this current video and then watch the next one. So you're going to go into your computer. There's a spot there for handout. Under handout, you're going to find Mr. Katz. Right over, Mr. Katz is right here. We're period 5, and under period 5, you will see a video that says example 3 scientific notation for very low numbers. And then this is what I want you to click. It's a 2-minute video, but I want you to watch it. So before you click on this video, I want you to make sure you pause the current video and then watch this video, and then let me know when you're done watching the video. Alright, so now that you watched the video and you checked off with me that you watched it, now we're going to talk a little bit about a couple examples from the video. So what I want you to do is we're going to go over one example. And from that one example, you're going to actually do 2 examples on your own. And each time you do 2 examples, you're going to bring them up to me so that you can check it to make sure you knew what you were doing, and we'll see if you have any issues. So the first one says change these numbers into scientific notation. So these are all numbers that are not written in scientific notation. So the first one I'm going to do for you. So this is 0.00012. So first of all, we need to move this decimal so that this number is between 1 and 10. And the only way to do that is put it between the 1 and the 2. So that way it would be 1 and 2/10, or 1.2. Then what we want to do is, in order to show this number isn't really 1.2, it's actually 0.00012. So I know it's going to be times 10, because that's scientific notation, but I'm going to have to put a negative power here, because really you need to, this number is actually this number. So in order to move it back, in order to show that it actually is this really small number, I have to count how many spaces I moved it to get it into be a bigger number. So I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So if I want these 2 numbers to be equal, I need to write -4. So that would tell the person that this number isn't really 1.2. This number is 1.2 times 10 to the -4th, which means you have to actually move the decimal back 4 places to find out what the real number is. So what I want you to do now is you're going to pause the video, and I want you to try these two problems and bring them up to me as soon as you're done, but make sure you pause the video. So now that you checked that with me, so you did these two and checked them with me, now we're going to go the other way. Now we're going to learn how to change these numbers into standard form, which is actually a little easier, but it's the same thing. We're just doing the opposite of what we did above. So if you have 4.2 times 10 to the negative 9th, the negative 9 tells you that this is a really small number. And the 9 tells you how many decimal places you have to move it to the left, because to get this to be a small number, if we move it this way, it's going to be like over 42. It's going to be 40,000, 42,000. It's going to be this huge number. It might even be in the millions. But because it's negative 9, I know you're going to have to move it back 9 spaces. So I move it once, and then I have 8 more spaces to go. And because I don't have numbers to write it in, it's going to end up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then one more for 8. So this number, 4.2 times 10 to the negative 9th, is actually the really small number, 0.000000042. And I want to, you actually want to get rid of that. The decimal point is now over here. It's no longer between the 4 and the 2. So these two numbers are equal because I've changed this scientific notation into standard form. So now what I want you to do is go and do these two problems and bring them up to me so that I can check them. All right. So now that you check those problems, you're ready to go. So come right up to me, and what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a worksheet, and it's going to be out of 10 points, but you have to finish by the end. And I want you to complete the problems. I'm going to give you specific problems on that worksheet to complete, but please make sure your name, the date, and your period are on that worksheet. And make sure you show the work. You can write all over the worksheet, but please make sure you do all the problems that I asked you to do. And as soon as you're done, bring it up to me, and I will, if I have time, I'll grade in front of you, or I'll give it back to you on Monday. Good luck.